Hi, this is Don, and you're cooking with Don. This evening, I'm going to make shrimp Creole. My mom used to make this all the time when I was a kid growing up. Boy, I tell you, it was a special dinner. If I came home from school and I could smell the shrimp Creole in the house, it just made me such a happy kid. You know what I mean? I knew we were going to be eating good that night. Anyway, I make it very, very fresh. Everything is fresh, and I'm going to show you how to make it. It's not as hard as you think. Right here is my seasoning blend. I make my own seasoning blend. I put kosher salt, cayenne pepper, peppercorn, crushed red pepper, oregano leaves, ground celery seed, onion powder, and thyme. And I will have the recipe for that on this post. Okay, first thing I do is I chop up all of my celery, my green peppers, and my onions. Now what I do is I take a couple of tablespoons of butter, like so, and then a couple of tablespoons or so of your olive oil. I like to use a blend. A lot of people don't use a blend. I think it's a lot better. You get the flavor from the butter, but it doesn't burn with the oil, and vice versa. All right, once you get your oils going there, you go ahead and pour in your bell pepper and your onion. You can go ahead and put it all in there. And your celery. And give it a stir. Like so. I like to use Poblado peppers. I get a big one if I can find one at the store. And then I fine dice it. I go ahead and put some of that in there. It's a mild pepper. It's not very hot. So you can put quite a bit in there. By the way, I put 2 cups of the green bell peppers, 2 cups of the celery, and 2 cups of the onion. And I use sweet Vidalia onion. And I like, as you can see, I like to keep it nice chunks. Just rough chop it. Like so. Okay, about that time, I take my shrimp, and I have peeled and deveined 2 pounds of shrimp. And I save the shells and the tails. I put them in a pot and I make a shrimp stock with it. And with your shrimp stock, you just want to use the ends of your celery, your onions, and maybe some carrots, and a couple of bay leaves and some peppercorns, and bam, you're good. I take my seasoning mix that I made earlier, and you're going to have this around for a while. And you just season up your shrimp before you even put them in, like so. And just toss them around like that. Alright. And most of your seasonings are going to be right here. But I season as I go. Let me wash my hands real quick. I always wash, keep things clean as you go. Alright. So your shrimp are peeled and deveined. They are seasoned up with your seasoning blend. You've got your Holy Trinity of Cajun cooking right here. That's what they call it, the Holy Trinity. You've got to have celery, onions, and peppers. Okay, about that time, I put my fresh garlic in, and I use fresh cloves of garlic, probably 5 or 6. I'd say probably a couple of tablespoons would do it. I love garlic, so sometimes I'll put more in there. It's very heart healthy and delicious. And as you can see, your peppers and onions and celery are starting to soften up. About that time, when I'm cooking, I season as I go. I'll go ahead and season up my vegetables a little bit. I always use kosher salt for this type dish. And I go ahead and put a little bit of cayenne pepper in there. Even though you have seasoning on your shrimp, you still want to have a little bit of kick right there. And so I put like a half teaspoon right there. Always put cracked black pepper, always. And I use this peppercorn medley. It's got white, pink, black. Oh, it's delicious. It's got a complex flavor. I mean, the complexity is completely different from table salt. Please do not use ground table salt. It is absolutely awful. It has no flavor. Anyway, about that time, I put 2 bay leaves in. I put some parsley in, fresh parsley. I would say probably about, I don't know, 1/8 of a cup of fresh chopped parsley. Oh, it smells delicious already. You've got the poblano peppers, the fresh garlic, your holy trilogy. It's delicious. Okay, with the tomatoes, I like to use fresh tomatoes. I get some big ones, probably about 2 pounds of fresh tomatoes. I score them on one side, I score them, and then I core them, and then I boil them, I blanch them just for a minute, doesn't take but a minute, and then you shock them in some ice water, and guess what? Your tomato contracts, and literally the skin will just pop right off. Anyway, what I do about right now, I go ahead and take probably 3 or 4 of them and put them in a blender and go ahead and make your tomato puree. And that's fresh. That's not out of a can. I try not to use a can if I can help it. All right, I'm going to crank it up right now. And don't forget, you've got your shrimp already seasoned. It's sitting right here. Another thing I'd like to tell you about is go ahead and make you some white rice. Go ahead and have it cooked. And just keep it warm on the back of the oven. All right, about this time, I'm going to put my shrimp in because I've got a boil going here. And you don't have to cook this dish very long. I'm talking once you get everything in there, we're talking 10 or 15 minutes. But go ahead and put your shrimp in. Like so. Give it a good stir. Oh my gosh, this is going to be delicious. Guys, if you cook this for your girlfriend, oh my God, you're going to be rocking and rolling all night. You know what I mean? Anyway, with the other 2 tomatoes, I take them and I just rough chop them. So you have some rough chopped tomatoes, like so. I got a brand new chef's knife. Oh my God. Having good cutlery and good pots and pans is so important to cooking. Go ahead and put your tomatoes in. I like it chunky. I don't like it real runny sauce. I like it chunky, and I'll tell you how you're going to make it to where it's a little thicker than this. And from this point on, this is pretty much it. You're getting there. You just have to cook your shrimp until they turn pink, and you don't want to overcook them. But you can simmer it for 15-20 minutes. That's up to you. About this time, I like to take, let's see here, I'm going to put some Lea and Perrins, which I absolutely love Lea and Perrins. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of that in. This is a 2 tablespoon spoon, by the way. And I like it, so I'm going to put a little extra. Then hot sauce. I use Texas Pete hot sauce. It's the cheapest and the best. This Big Daddy size bottle, I think, was $2. Don't let anybody fool you and tell you you have to buy some extravagant hot sauce, because they're pulling your leg. And there you go. I put some hot sauce in there, a tablespoon or so. I believe the recipe I will have 1 tablespoon. I like a little extra. All right, and that just has to cook 15 or 20 minutes. Little John Bonham there. Now to thicken it up, I use a little bit of flour. And I put a little bit of water in it. Now to thicken it up, I use a little bit of flour and I put a little water in it and mix it around like that. A little more water. And that's going to make it, it's kind of like a flour slurry like you would cornstarch. Only you're using flour, all-purpose flour. And then I put that in there. Oh yeah. And since this is shrimp, you don't have to do a dark roux like you would with gumbo. That's fine right there. And that's going to thicken up your sauce. And you can adjust the seasonings however you'd like to. You just keep on cooking it. And that's everything. Now here, what I'm going to do is plate it up over here. I've got one already going. What I like to do, let's see, I didn't put any shrimp stock in there, I don't think. Let's put some shrimp stock in there. I went to all that trouble to make that shrimp stock. I'm going to make sure it's in there. Okay, what I like to do on a presentation, like I say, go ahead and have your rice ready to go. Like so. Put it in a cup. Then you can take it like this so it looks nice. Then take your finished product and just go around the rice like that. And of course you can put however much you want in there. And you clean the plate. Always clean the plate. Presentation is everything. And usually I don't make that big a mess, but today I did. Anyway, you spread out your shrimp very nicely like that. And then I like to put a little bit of color. You know me, I like to put some color on there. So I'm going to put some fresh parsley and some green onion. And there you go, friends. That is my authentic shrimp Creole. Thank you.